It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. Know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out Podcast, episode 429. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe. I'm surfing the internet
Why?
because that's what I do.
Oh, okay.
And I'm on one of my deal sites, and it just like, as I was going to, I was like, oh, should I send this to you? Woot has on sale right now for $10 a Fit Heart oversized bike seat.
No.
With dual shock absorbing memory foam. I just think it's funny because everybody always talks about when they
Oh,
first
the
get their
seat
bike,
hurts.
how the seat hurts, and I was like, "Oh, it's on sale for 50% off. Should we like buy up a bunch of them and then
Sell them off.
flip them over on the OPP to the new people?"
Oh, too funny. Too funny.
So we're both cranky.
So cranky. We'll talk about it on bonus,
Yeah.
though. We'll forget about it by bonus
Yeah.
because we probably won't record today.
We're just fighting with the water company.
Yeah,
we still
which-
have our leak.
But people don't know about that because
Yeah.
we talked about it on the Patreon. So
I can never remember what we talk about
I
anywhere.
know, exactly.
So we've had a leak now for a full month that the water company's like, fix right away, and we'll come out one day to look at it because you can't fix it until we look at it, but fix it right away, but we can't come out yet.
it's been a thing. A
Government
whole
bureaucrats
thing.
are the worst.
And you say that as?
And I say that as a government bureaucrat. We're the worst. So if we sound a little perturbed,
I even did a meditation before this.
and then the water company rejected our claim because it wasn't a PDF.
Yeah, he had just sent an attachment instead of not a PDF.
Yeah. And I'm just like, they sent me a form that I had to fill out by hand, and then I had the audacity to take a picture of it instead of scanning it because I was like, you're just going to print it out anyway.
Right.
Like, so anyhow, what, pray tell, do you have in store for people this week?
Oh my God, I don't even know. Okay, so we are going to talk about the Peloton's announcement of their roadmap, their strategic roadmap that's coming. We are also going to talk about the major schedule changes that Peloton is making. Now, they always make changes in the fall, so this is different. This is different.
Different than your typical fall. The pop culture nerd in me. Remember how exciting fall used to be when all the new TV shows were out and your favorites were coming back? That doesn't happen anymore. It's just there's always TV.
That's true.
And I love TV, but there was something.
There was something nice about that. I miss shopping for back to school clothes.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss
don't.
I know, but I don't really care about the TV schedule, so suck it.
Do you remember my single dad hack for back to school shopping?
No.
Because so locally, and a lot of places do this, they have that weekend where
Oh
it's tax free.
yeah.
And it would start on like Friday and run like Friday through Sunday. And so I would go up to the Walmart and start doing my back to school shopping on Thursday at 11:30.
Oh, I do remember you
night.
telling me about this.
And then by the time
he had boys, so he could get away with this.
Yeah. So, and they were old. Zach was old enough where I could leave him alone with Brian.
Oh, that's not what I was getting at. Every woman just went, you took your children to Walmart for back to school shopping. No, he didn't even take them. He just bought the clothes. That's why I'm saying he had boys.
Well,
he could get away with it. You couldn't do this with a girl.
I meant more for the school supplies.
Oh.
When they gave you this giant list.
Gotcha.
And so I would go up, fill up the cart, and then like hit the line right at midnight. And then school supplies were fully in stock. I'd get the no tax. Boom, be home in bed by 12:15.
Nice.
Yes. So there's your hack.
If they have that in their
If they
state.
still have that in their state and they still have kids of that age. So anyway.
So we want to talk about profiles having gemstones. That's an interesting thing. We've got thoughts. PSNY and PSL, the September Run Club events, we're going to talk about those. Peloton's accidental survey and apology that came out a few days later. Berlin, there's going to be a Peloton shakeout run. We've got instructors in the news, tons of baby news. We've got a whole list of the babies if you need them. Plus, we have updates on the Family Fit classes that just dropped this week.
And baby news.
That's like
Because there's that many babies. We have all of their social security numbers.
No. Bex Gentry's daughter was in her first race, and we've got news about that.
Okay.
Not to mention the New York Times featuring one of our lovely, illustrious instructors. We have artist news, and we have content. We also have connected fitness news, other connected fitness. So, and in case you missed it.
Okay, well, before we get to all that shameless plugs, over on the Patreon this week, we will have
A bunch of bitching about our water.
about our water. Well, we're getting older. It's hard to hold your water.
Don't I know?
So you're seeing the rise of smart homes, especially smart homes for seniors. We have an article about how that could actually end up helping Peloton quite a bit. A former instructor gets a new app. We're going to talk about Nike's new slogan.
Yes.
What happened to the old slogan?
Yes. And in the incredible divisiveness that the whole discussion has caused.
Yes.
Whew.
And then we'll have details on Alex Toussaint's Give Back Tour. So, and more.
Oh, yeah. That's just a touch.
We will also, because we've been going down these pop culture rabbit holes lately, we will also talk about the phrase, raise a mustache.
Yeah, it's a phrase. That's a thing. And we're going to get into it.
Yes. So that's all over on the Patreon. Also, don't forget we're available wherever you get podcasts. Oh, I didn't talk about Patreon in terms of what all you get on your Patreon.
You did not.
Patreon.com/theclipout. It's $5 a month. What you get is ad-free episodes. You get bonus content. You get a bonus episode every week, maybe even a second episode coming up soon.
Hint, hint.
Yes. And you also get early episodes. They typically come out lately like a full 24 hours in advance. We've gotten our system down. By we, of course, I mean Crystal. But I have been remembering to send them out. So that counts for something.
It does.
So all that for $5 a month, and you're just helping out a little indie podcast, and we appreciate it. So anyway, if you would like to support just the regular podcast, well, guess what? You're already doing that by listening, and you can get that wherever you get your podcast. If you haven't maybe subscribe so you never miss an episode, that is super helpful. If you've never left a review, that's something that doesn't cost you a dime but helps us, so we appreciate that as well. You can find us over on Facebook, facebook.com/theclipout. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and then don't forget that you can watch all of these over on YouTube. And, of course, we throw a lot of links and stuff at you throughout the episode. If you're looking for one mostly weekly digest of those links, we got you. You can sign up for that over at theclipout.com. We don't sell your email address, not because we're above it. We're just lazy. That seems like a lot of work. I don't know. So I
don't want to shop that thing.
Our laziness protects you way more than our integrity ever could. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
So Peloton attended Citi's 2025 tech conference of some sort.
We did. They did.
Where they unveiled their strategic roadmap. I'm glad to see this time it involves strategy.
Well, to be fair, only Liz Coddington attended,
gotcha.
not like the whole
No,
company.
she is Peloton in its entirety.
Cool. I'm sure she's glad to know that.
She contains multitudes.
Also, it's really not that different than what we just covered over in the what is the quarterly earnings meeting. This is really not that different. But quite frankly, a lot of you don't pay attention to that because you're listening to something else while you're listening to us, which we totally get.
Yeah, we're listening to something else while we're talking to us.
Absolutely. We're doing it right now.
Yeah.
So we get that. But I did think it was interesting that they kind of publicly talked about this. Now, the reason I think that's interesting is because it's one thing to take questions from investors. It's another to take questions in a public environment like this. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, those stock calls are very inside baseball.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've started doing this thing on the earnings call where now you can submit your questions ahead of time so they can very much cherry pick which questions they answer. And then you
Yeah.
only get like 2 live questions.
Right.
Which I'm okay with from a timing and efficiency perspective because sometimes they get real long-winded. Like you're supposed to ask one question and one follow-up. And what ends up happening is 2 paragraph long questions that are in no way follow-ups. They're
Yeah.
completely separate. Like people get real loosey-goosey with the rules. So I'm good with that. Anyway, they wanted to talk about their changes. So it's kind of a 3-prong approach to their strategy. And phase 1 is aligning the costs with the business size. And that includes restructuring efforts and securing a $1.35 billion debt refinancing. They've done the debt refinancing. They've restructured the hell out of things. They've fired a bunch of people. So like in theory, that phase is done. They continue to close out stores and they're getting rid of all of the original legacy stores, like the original size, and they're moving to this micro store footprint.
Okay.
And so that is also part of the restructuring the business
Right.
to the costs. Okay. Phase 2 is focus on building sustainable operations, investing strategically in growth areas. One of the ways that they've done that is they have really changed how they do their marketing spend. They used to do a lot of ads and now it's much more targeted ads, much smaller. They're trying to add a lot more of the community into it, which they should have been doing since day one.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother confusing thing. But anyway, they've changed how they do that. They've also changed as part of getting rid of so many people that they also changed how they are spending money on research and development. They have changed how they have structured all of that. And that's part of these cost savings as well. So those are 2 things. And then phase 3, they are achieving return to growth supported by a de-risk balance sheet and capital allocation strategy. So
What's that mean to humans?
Humans, it means that they have gotten rid of some of the debt. They have gotten rid of people because it's an asset.
Speaking of humans.
And then they're talking about changing where like some of their real estate is. And they briefly mentioned that in the last call. We don't know what that's going to look like. But what we do know is it's going to some places that house like the backstage employees, if you will, like the business side of things.
Right.
That's probably going to change, like where they are all centered. And they have a couple of different main data, like headquarters. Like there's one in New York, of course, just up the street from the studio. But then there's also
Plano.
the customer service center in Plano. And of course, there's also like where they actually make a lot of these materials overseas. So those are 3 main areas. Not saying all of those are changing at all because we don't know that.
Right.
What I'm saying is those are 3 areas they could change. And then they have completely changed all of their leadership. They brought in an entirely new leadership team.
Yeah.
So that is all new. So now there's a new marketing CEO. There's a new, all of the C-suite has completely switched out, and they added for the first time ever a CIO. So all that's different. And they are very much focused on AI-driven personalization. They are really doubling down. So when we talk about like how they're going to spend their money and where they're going to be spending it instead of doing marketing, instead of having research and development, they're going to take that and kind of switch it. And now they're going to be putting even more money into AI.
Gotcha.
So you're going to get more personalization. They also are looking to expand into wellness. So it's not going
I
to
love the air quotes.
Well, because it's such a buzzword these days.
So
Everyone's
is AI.
using it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But they are moving beyond cardio, and they're going to include strength training, mental well-being, sleep recovery, and nutrition. Okay, well, let's break that down. How long have we already been doing strength training?
Right.
Is that new? It's not new.
Yeah.
And it's not new to have mental well-being, which is what they're going to call meditation and yoga. It's not new for sleep meditation. It's not new for recovery. They have recovery classes. it's not even new for nutrition. So what exactly is expansion? It's just that they're leaning more into those things. I wouldn't call any of it an expansion. I feel like that's another dumb buzzword that people use. But they are going to change how they're approaching these things. Also, the Peloton instructors are going to be out and about a lot more. You know, they used to have where all of the people came in and they had the homecoming. Well, that's no more. And then they did Peloton on tour. That's no more. But what they are going to start doing is having the instructors go out to all these different places. And we've already been seeing it all year long. And you're going to continue to see that. That's one of the things that like Alex's Give Back tour is, you know, that's not like Alex came up with an idea. Like, and I don't mean that to shit on Alex. I'm just saying like this is part of the whole strategy to get these people, get all of the instructors out, spread them out and about across all of the different cities that they serve.
Always wondered why they didn't do that.
We've talked about it for years.
Yeah. Because you'll own the local media. If one of the top tier instructors comes to town.
They don't do the local media. They should.
They should.
They don't.
Because it would just be just free media, and they're like, yay, a famous person came to town. Like, I really think...
Well, first of all, they're kind of sticking to bigger cities for most of these things, so you're not going to... Famous people, quote-unquote famous people, don't mean as much. But, but also, they're not coming to... most of the places they are going are places that are already very popular.
Yeah.
So...
But once you get outside of like the top 10 markets, it's really easy for a mid-tier celebrity to like generate excitement. And I think
he's coming to Kansas City, and I guarantee you they won't do anything except for like whatever shoes he's pushing now, you know, that's going to get a thing, or maybe, you know, and they could do so much more to your point.
They absolutely could. They could own that town for like 2 days of free media if they actually made any. I think living in New York, they lose sight of the fact that outside of New York, these people, like, there's so many big celebrities in New York.
I don't think it's that they lose sight of it. I think especially the instructors, there are some, not all, that think that they are above it.
Yeah.
They don't need it, and they don't want it, and their ego has gotten way too big. And I think some of these instructors, the Peloton cannot make them do it because they only have to work a certain number of hours a day. So by the time you travel and you go and do a run and you do your little speech, that's it. There is no more time, and they're not going to do it, and they don't care.
Yeah.
Some of these instructors do not care. Now, there are some instructors who never get mentioned, and they would be out there doing all the things you're suggesting.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, many of these instructors have gotten way too, in my opinion, as my father would say, big for their britches.
Yeah.
And I think that's a real problem for Peloton, because they cannot be compelled to do the things that would still push Peloton in front of people.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I have heard horror stories about some of these instructors whenever they do go to like an ad and they're like doing a big commercial, they'll show up in a competitor's t-shirt, they'll get rude, they'll walk off set. Yeah, and some of these, I hear a lot of stories about people that I don't share with everybody, and I'm not naming any names, but let me just say, some of these people, their egos are huge.
Yeah.
And that's not Robin. Robin is always very professional. Say what you want about that woman. I respect her hustle. I know not everybody does, but she is always professional when she shows up. Anyway, back to this. They're also talking about updating distribution channels, which I thought was interesting because they talk about Dick's Sporting Goods, but from all that we can tell, Dick's Sporting Goods is actually closing down their partnership with Peloton. Like, they've closed out of all of the things that they were selling. They had all those bikes that were for sale at half price. We talked about this episodes ago. So I thought it was interesting that they included that. They also say that Peloton Repowered is a new distribution channel, which it is for Peloton. So I think that's interesting as well. We already talked about the cost savings. And the only thing that came up in the Q&A insights that was, I wouldn't even say different, just I guess a reminder, the key focus remains on high potential, fast growing wellness categories with demonstrable benefits. So they are just really doubling down on where they think they can grow, which nothing wrong with that. That's what they should be doing.
For sure. Go for the low hanging fruit right now.
Anything stand out there for you?
Not overly. Like I
thought hydration was an interesting one that they mentioned as part of nutrition. Just because like there's so much out there already. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Drink water. They're going to make their own powder now? Like, I don't know. They could. I have no idea.
Could. It just seems like a weird
It
brand
does.
extension.
It does. I don't see them doing that, but I don't know.
I thought it seemed interesting that they talk about the forming partnerships with Dick's Sporting Goods, since we see that it seemed like that was maybe going away.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. So
like I agree.
that's the thing that I thought was real. That stood out to me as like, I'm not sure what to make of that.
Maybe it's not going away. It's just all signs point to it, and it's not really going away. Maybe it's just being reset. And maybe what we don't know is like all this new equipment that's coming out in October. They're just blowing it out to make room.
Yeah, they weren't ending the partnership. They were blowing out old stock before anybody knew it was old stock.
Totally could be.
Yeah.
That is very possible. And honestly, the fact that they're including in Dick's Sporting Goods as a distribution channel update is kind of a signal that that's the case. So we may have read that all wrong.
For sure.
Absolutely. Very possible.
So we have major schedule changes coming this fall.
We do. Yeah. Everything is changing about how the studio works early in the week anyway. Okay, so Peloton is saying the reason they're shifting the schedule is to bring more program-based classes and expand the Peloton studio classes to include Thursday mornings. So here's the thing. It's going to be fewer live floor-based classes on Monday and Tuesday. So to make room for this instructor schedule, they have to cut down on live strength and yoga sessions on those days. They're still going to have on-demand in strength and yoga on those days. Starting on October 9th, Peloton is going to offer in-person classes Thursday through Sunday afternoon. So it used to be Thursday evening to Monday morning. So that's not happening.
Right.
And it also means that there are no Monday mornings. Okay. So it's going to be Thursday morning starting earlier, but also ending Sunday afternoon instead of Monday morning.
Okay.
So it used to cap the weekend on either side. So if you were trying to do a 4-day weekend in New York, let's just say, you could theoretically take classes Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday, depending on when your flight was, if you have a flight. Well, now it's going to be, you have more options on Thursday, but you have none on Monday.
We call that the Garfield schedule.
Because he hates Mondays?
He hates Mondays.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
And they also have coupons for lasagna.
Oh, too funny. So Peloton says that this is designed to keep the experience fresh, balanced, and accessible. Overall, the shifts are going to be small, but you're going to have meaningful shifts. Like there's going to be more evening yoga for winding down the day, earlier morning strength blocks for people who like to start strong, and a boost in live cycling classes during peak hours. Instructors will also have dedicated recovery windows built into their schedules, which means that they can consistently bring their best without running the risk of overuse injury, which I'm cool with. But what I hear is now everyone's going to have a 12-week block scheduled.
Right.
So I don't know what that's really going to look like. But anyway, try out different instructors. Use this opportunity. So.
Yes, there are loads of instructors for you to sample.
And just a reminder for all of you, it's more for people who are new than those of you who have been around a long time. But remember to tell people when you see them on all the social media, they change the schedule twice a year.
Yeah.
This is not new information.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty big structure change, but we've seen it before.
Right.
We will see it again.
Things are always in flux.
Yeah. Well, and you know, a big thing that I think people lose sight of is they're constantly refreshing the schedule because they're trying to make sure that over all of the different time zones they serve, people are getting classes that they want at times that they want. And no, that doesn't mean that everyone's going to be happy, because no one is ever happy all the time. But what it does mean is they keep changing it to give a variety of options to people instead of the same people always getting the same things.
Yeah.
So as much as people hate to admit it, there is a reason to do it.
For sure. So some people are finding that their profiles have gemstones.
Yeah, I have to give a little shout out to Daniel Osorio here. He saw that several people on a recent class had gemstones of all different colors on the leaderboard. Now, we looked into this and not one person had it. This was in the middle of the night for Americans. My theory is this, after listening to many people talk about this. My theory is they are going to be rolling this out. This was a beta. Daniel was never meant to see this. It happened in the middle of the night. They had it turned on so the least amount of people could see it as possible. Because it would have been about 2 o'clock in the morning, our time. I think they've talked about recognizing long-term members.
And this is going to be for like OGs.
I think that there's going to be different colored gemstones based on how long you've been part of Peloton.
Gotcha.
So like the OGs should have like whatever the top tier is, you know?
Right.
And then it should go down from there.
Gotcha. I wonder what the cutoff will be for that top tier gemstone.
It will be interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like the Kickstarter people should have their own special color.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that should be recognized and it should be public.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to click on it and be like, this person was a Kickstarter funding
They've been
person.
there since 2014 or whatever the date was.
2013 is when Kickstarter started.
Okay.
But it was at the end of the year. So yeah, like that's, I don't know. It will be interesting. I have no idea that that's what this is. I just don't know what else it would be. So we will see.
And then if your membership lapses and you come back, do you get it?
Well, do you take, so they have pauses that you can take.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be your membership lapsing.
I just picture someone's credit card on file expiring.
If you lost it from that, I would be furious. I would be like, that is bullshit.
Or your credit card company like voids your credit card because they had a data breach and you don't realize that all the different accounts you had that one linked to, and then you're like, sorry,
you lost your little gemstone.
You lost your righteous gemstone.
I would be very upset.
That would be catastrophic.
It really I would lose my shit.
I know.
I would be more upset over that.
You don't even have a gemstone.
I don't even have a gemstone.
And you're already tearing up at the thought of losing the gemstone that didn't exist 10 minutes ago and that you don't even have yet.
It's so true. I am ready to call and throw a fit.
Goodness.
I am on an emotional roller coaster today.
Okay, so PSNY and PSL are having September Run Club events.
They are. Whew, I'm so upset.
I see that.
They are. So they do these once a month now. This month they're both taking place on September 17th, and there's going to be the same day, because the last time they had them on the same day was whenever they had Global Running Day. They did them at the exact same time.
Okay.
So it went really well. They're going to do it again. And here's what we do know. September 17th in New York, 6 p.m. Eastern, Camila and of course, whoever is joining them will kick off Latin Hispanic Heritage Month. And then it's going to be a 5K, no cost for this. There's going to be designated pace groups. So they're going to have a sub 10-minute mile, 10 to 12-minute mile, and then they're going to have a walk plus run. And because I am so slow, that's where I would be, just pointing that out. Then for the PSL date, it's also the September 17th, and it's also 6 p.m. And Susie Chan and Ben Aldis are going to be doing this one. They're going to be leading it. And you're going to go to St. James Park. It will be a focused intervals run. And that's the first one we've ever done. It's going to be a 5K and quote unquote, some surprises. Don't know what that's about.
Know.
You have to also...
Whenever somebody says and surprises, I always think, if they gave you no surprise, that would technically be a surprise.
Well, this will be interesting because it says there's no pace groups in this one. Departures go out in waves ahead of a 5K loop with some fitness fun thrown in. I picture like HIIT intervals, like you have to stop and drop and do like push-ups or something, which sounds terrible to me. Like it is all the things I hate. It's going to be burpees. It's going to be like jumping jacks in the middle of the street. Yeah, not my jam.
Mountain climbers with twists.
Oh, terrible. They probably have Bulgarian split squats. Just did so many of those yesterday. Anyway, I'm kidding. If anybody joins the PSL one, I would really love to hear what the surprises were.
Yeah.
Because I would like to know more details in case they have one in New York.
So you know what
and
to
also
avoid.
a nosy. Yes.
Peloton sent out an accidental survey
They did. It
for a
says,
thing that might not have occurred to you.
I mean, it didn't occur to most people.
Yeah.
It appears that everyone who got this had not ordered something, and they sent out a survey saying, your feedback is important to us. We'd like to hear about your delivery experience in the short 2-minute survey. And everyone was like, but I didn't order anything.
Yeah.
And also, you should have provided a blank where I could tell you why I don't like this. Because all it was is a rating of 1 to 5. And everyone was like, oh, no, I have things to say.
Yeah.
So then a couple days later, they sent out an email that said, you may have recently received an email from us with a post-delivery experience survey. Please disregard this message. It was sent in error. We apologize for the mistake and any confusion it may have caused.
Okay.
All righty.
Duly noted. And finally, for this portion of the show, Berlin has added a shakeout run.
Yes, we are right in the middle of all of the fall marathons. Berlin is up next on Saturday, September 20th. There will be a shakeout run, and it is going to be located at the Social Hub in Berlin, and it's going to be in partnership with 261 Fearless, and it is led by Jeffrey and Marcel Maurer. So that is going to be super fun. You can sign up for that and be part of it, which I highly recommend you do. These shakeout runs are so fun, and it's neat to see all the different people who don't necessarily go to Peloton classes because they're outdoor people. Like when we did the one in New York, there was all kinds of people I had never seen before. Like it was like, who are you? It was really cool because you get a bunch of the outdoor people that you don't see indoors.
Coming up after this, we are going to have a rundown of all the babies in the world of Peloton, and it's a lot of babies. So stick around.
Instructors in the news.
Okay. Do you got your scorecard ready?
I do.
Okay. Matt Wilpers and his wife,
Nico.
have had a baby.
They have. And if you are a Patreon member, you already know this.
You knew this a week or two ago.
Yeah, because we told you. Because we, as in Detective Nikki.
Yes.
Well, I guess actually I have to say it wasn't just Detective Nikki. It was some of our tipsters heard in a class that Matt Wilpers was on paternity leave. One of the other instructors mentioned it. I think it was Ben Aldis. And so then Detective Nikki got to work. We talked all about it over on the Patreon, but we didn't want to out Matt Wilpers because it's his big day.
Yeah.
We wanted to let him have it. So we waited, and here we are. It is finally time.
That's what your $5 gets you.
You know about babies ahead of time.
Baby announcements.
And marriage announcements, but that's a whole nother story. Got to go over there and listen.
Yes. So we also have Cliff Dwenger and his wife have had their second baby.
They have. And both of these announcements from Matt and Cliff were both just adorable Instagram announcements. Cliff's eyes when he showed his baby, because he was very funny in his Instagram post because he was like, I have fallen for another woman. And he goes into this big confession. He's already told his wife, and here, you want to see her? And then he shows the baby, and his eyes got so big, and it was just great. It was amazing. It was lots of fun. And Matt kind of did a similar thing, that he had a new role, and then he's holding his dog, and then he replaces the dog in front of the camera, and then one of those quick Instagram switches, and here's the baby and the dog.
To say that dog's going to get a complex. Gotta be careful. And we know that there have been so many instructor babies as of late. So the Clip Out has put together a page where it's just kind of tracking all the Peloton babies. Yeah,
there's been a ton, like you said, and we've got a whole list of them. This was all Elizabeth's idea, help her be Elizabeth, and she put together a fit family class schedule, and then she was like, let me get you up to date on all the babies.
Yeah.
So tons of them. It's been a crazy, very big month, actually 2 months, for tons and tons of babies.
Yeah.
Peloton.
And while we're speaking of instructor children, Bex Gentry's daughter competed in her first race.
She did. I also have to say that it's important to note this was Bex Gentry's first time that she was announcing. She was the official announcer for the Fifth Avenue Mile, which is a big race in New York. It's a very famous race. So one of the events that they do in the morning is little kids, and I don't know exactly what it's labeled because I didn't listen to this because it doesn't have captions, and I don't watch anything that doesn't have captions. But Tallulah did her first race, and she won. She came in first place.
Well, I mean, she was bred in a lab.
She was.
To win things like this.
And the way that this particular race works is like they run with one of the parents. And so Austin was running with Tallulah and they crossed the finish line and look like he was just in the nicest, like most comfortable jog. Like in a mile. Like he didn't even look like he was winded.
Right.
And of course, it was really cool because since Bex was announcing, she got to greet Tallulah as she came over the finish line as the first kid. Like,
people were like, rigged. What is this, the 2020 election?
It was pretty neat all around. So very cool and special day.
The New York Times has a really large feature on Aditi Shah.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's under the subcategory routine, and it's labeled How a Peloton Yoga Instructor Spends a Day at the Studio. And she talks about how she starts at a 5:30 a.m. meditation to her after dinner walk and all the business meetings in between. Like you said, it's a very lengthy article. And there was a little tiny tidbit that, again, helper B. Elizabeth caught that I want to make sure and say. We had mentioned a few months ago that Aditi posted about that new magazine that came to life that featured Jen Cotter. And Aditi was not in the magazine. And I was like, that's so weird. Well, she wasn't featured because she was involved in the behind the scenes.
Okay.
And so that's why she was excited. And part of the announcement, it has been confirmed. She was part of like what launched it.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of fun to see that come full circle too.
Yeah.
Peloton artist collaborations.
So the latest artist series isn't really the latest artist series. It's Bad Bunny Phase 2, or if you prefer, Phase Dos.
It is, and we talked about this last week, or I think it was last week. It might have been 2 weeks ago when we were talking about the two white chairs and like what it symbolized. Mm-hmm. And there was the name of the album was, I can't remember. This is 2 weeks ago,
but it was like Spanish for take more pictures.
Yes, and focus on the memories and like don't focus on the people that have gone before.
Yeah.
And so this Bad Bunny will be focused on that album, the new album that's coming out, and that's why the two chairs were mentioned. And so it is time for that to occur. And I should mention that as we are ramping up Latin Heritage History Month. Or did I say wrapping up? I meant to say ramping up.
Okay.
It starts in the middle of the month and goes
that's
to
right.
This is the one that goes middle to middle. And that's because of all the Independence Days that occur, which we looked up a couple of years ago. So I just wanted to mention that.
I'm glad you remember that because I had forgotten.
I only remembered because, again, tipster Elizabeth was Googling and I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that now. And anyway, he is the perfect icon to kick off Latin Heritage History Month.
Absolutely. And not technically an artist series, but it's music, so we're going to throw it here. Armada Music have extended their residency.
Yeah, and this time it was DJ DOD. I don't know who that is, but that means really nothing because I am old.
Fair.
But it's another one of these really cool DJ classes that it happened in person. So lots of fun to see that.
Coming up after this, we're going to give you all the content that needs to be on your to-do list, or at least under consideration. Maybe it shouldn't all be on your to-do list because it's a lot, and that probably doesn't seem healthy. So I'm taking all that back.
Okay.
And also, Whoop is getting a competitor, and we'll talk to you about that right on the other side of this.
Other connected fitness.
So Whoop is getting a competitor.
They have. Now, just to be clear, a lot of people consider an Oura Ring also a competitor.
Okay.
I don't, not because I have any shade against Oura Ring. It's just they really aren't the same. I know some people who do Oura Ring think they're the same, but they're not.
Shots fired.
I mean, a little bit, but it's not. Oura Ring is good for what it is, but it just doesn't do all the things.
Right.
And anyway, point being that the first real, like, we are coming after Whoop competitor is Polar, and they have launched a screenless fitness tracker, which I think is hilarious because people have bitched since the beginning of Whoop that it doesn't have a screen.
Yeah.
So for another competitor to come out and not have a screen is super fascinating.
I kind of think it not having a screen is a selling point.
It is a selling point, and that's what Whoop has argued for 7 years now.
Yeah, because it's like everybody's got a smartphone, so they can change that app whenever they want, but not have to change the measuring device. And it's one less thing to break. It makes it that much more durable.
Not only that, but the whole point, Whoop's point is don't be distracted by the data.
Yeah.
Gather the data.
Yeah, that's true. Like you can review it when you're in the right mindset instead of being mid-run and being like, oh, I'm not going fast enough or my heart rate's not where I want it to be.
Yes.
And look, I'm just going to put it out here on Front Street. You reach a certain age,
you're not going to be able to see it anyway.
you can't read that screen.
Yeah, it's facts. Facts.
And even if you can read it now, I promise you, your day is coming. So this way, it doesn't make you feel bad when that day arrives and you can't read it.
You don't even have a screen.
You don't even know.
I just thought it was interesting because so many people gave Whoop shit for not having a screen. And Whoop has constantly been like, there's a reason.
Right.
We did this on purpose. And now a main competitor is coming out doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
It's not a bug. It's
This
a
is what we
feature.
call ironic.
Yeah. And they have a different business model.
Very
though.
different. This is the big key difference. This is the one that thinks this is the thing that people think is going to take Whoop down. I am not convinced of that, by the way. But Whoop has always been like, you don't have to pay for the device. You pay for the subscription. The subscription has come down significantly from when I started in 2018. It used to be like $50 a month, and it has slowly gone down. And if you buy it when it's like Black Friday,
Right.
you can get it as low as $15 a month, depending on how far out in advance you want to pay for it.
Right.
Okay. So the difference is Polar is not going to have any kind of subscription. It's a one-time payment, and then you get the device and you get all the features. Both have their ups and downs.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad business model, especially in today's world.
But people who hate paying for that fee, that feel like they never, it never ends with Whoop, you constantly are paying,
Which I get.
they love it. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I'm going to move over to Polar. Okay, but when 2 years, when it's not doing the newest thing,
Right.
now you're going to be pissed all over again.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to have to buy it all over again.
Right.
You're paying for it one way or another.
Yeah.
I like the fact that with Whoop, you don't keep paying for a new thing. You buy the subscription and then you always have the newest tech. As soon
Right.
as it comes out, you get it.
And because Polar doesn't have this ongoing revenue stream, they are not necessarily as incentivized
To keep doing new things.
to keep to keep it maintained.
Now, Polar's been around for a long time.
Has it? Okay.
It has. Like, they've been doing like a Garmin type watch. They've had the chest straps. In fact, I have to say, Polar chest straps for your heart rate are the gold standard.
Okay.
Like when you get like if you go do a VO2 max or something like that and they hand you a chest strap to put on, it's almost always Polar.
Okay.
Always.
Gotcha.
And so Polar is not a bad company. They're a great company.
Good to know.
So no shade against them at all. So I do think that because they've been around for a long time, that kind of gives you more confidence that they're going to keep doing forward momentum.
That makes sense.
And research and development.
And this isn't the only thing they're doing, so it's not
Exactly.
their only revenue stream.
It's not.
And there's probably a lot of duplication in terms of the data collection software that's baked into other products.
Absolutely. But I will say this with Whoop, they are really doing their best to stay ahead of the curve. And they always do.
Yeah.
And I know there are some people that really get mad about the stuff that happens with Whoop, but I think a lot of it boils down to how much you do things the same. Like, there are some people that say that like it never tracks their sleep correctly, but if you dig into their conversation, you always find they're shift workers or they're people that they're like my daughter who stays up till 2 a.m. sometimes and stays up till 10 p.m. sometimes.
Yeah.
And so they don't have consistency. And so Whoop can't learn them.
Right.
I'm a person that goes to bed within an hour of my bedtime every day.
I'm aware.
So Whoop can easily find out for me. So it works really well for me. And so
Yeah.
when I walk, it knows I'm walking. When I bike, it knows I'm biking. Because I do this, I'm very systematic and
Right.
structured. So I understand why it doesn't work for everyone. But for those of you who have more of a structured lifestyle, the deep data that you get from Whoop is so cool. And being able to like, should I focus on like I got a notification this morning that said for my Whoop, you're doing all kinds of things right. But what I really think you need to focus on is continuing to build your lean body mass, because that's the biggest thing that's going to drive you living longer. And that's your goal. So it's telling me, yes, walk all that you can, keep those steps up, but also you need to add one more day of strength training and focus on that rather than cardio. Like, that is deep learning. That's something you can't get from just like, I want to be better.
Right.
You know, like I think it's very, very helpful and beneficial.
And actionable.
That's very key.
New content.
It is time for the TCO Top 5. We took last week off because of Labor Day, right?
Yeah,
Was that
that's
Labor Day?
right.
Okay. But it did send the newsletter out.
You did.
So there.
I wasn't arguing with you. Put your finger down.
I was arguing with me.
Okay.
Number 1, your favorite walk run.
Favorite walk run was Alex K. He taught this on August 30th, and it was a 30-minute walk plus run. Sarah Lester and Kimberly J. Jessup both nominated this class. It's perfect for moms who have just dropped off their kids at college. Yes, we have a few of those in our clip out team. We're not crying. You're crying. Alex talks about taking a walk with his mom and asking if she was okay.
I remember this morning you were making a bunch of noise, and I was like, you're going to wake up the whole damn house. And then I was like, wait, we are the whole damn house.
We are the whole house.
Number 2, your favorite Power Zone ride.
Christine Diercole taught this. It was a 45-minute Power Zone endurance ride from June 30th. Ute Fretzel loved this class.
First off, that's a fun name to say.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? And her leaderboard name is Mrs. Ute. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I love it. Ute, are you like from Germany? I'm curious because that seems like a German name, but I don't know because I'm so American. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
But it sounds fun, and I love your name. Anyway, she loved this class, saying that Christine was so entertaining. You could literally feel her get going the longer the ride lasted, and she ended up in a super lovely giggling and dancing on the bike to the Scissor Sisters' Let's Have a Kiki.
Number 3, your favorite core class.
Tunde taught this class. It was a 15-minute core strength on August 31st, and it was nominated by Christina Ribeiro, our lovely little powerhouse, who said everyone must try this class. The class had 3 blocks of 5-minute each. 1 that was hollow hold variations, 2 obliques variations, and 3, everyone's favorite, planks for 5 minutes. Not my favorite, Christina.
A 5-minute plank?
Variations.
Oh, okay.
So probably like hold for a minute and then do something like rest and then.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Christina said this class is phenomenal for those who love core workouts and love seeing progress. Spoiler alert. Tunde admitted it's her hardest core class so far, and I agree. Good God.
Yeah. 5-minute plank. Yeah, I bet. Number 4, your favorite outdoor run.
Taught by Matt Wilpers. It was a 60-minute endurance run posted on March 4th of 25, and Stephanie Latos discovered this run this week. She nominated it as her favorite class. She said Matt's endurance runs make marathon training so fun and entertaining.
Okay, so number 5 is always an unstackable. I'm a little confused by this one.
Okay.
Because it's a 30-minute pop upper body strength with Robin Arzon claiming to be an unstackable, but that woman is not wearing yellow. Explain.
Okay, here you go.
Explain yourself, Stephanie Latos.
And Melissa Solon.
Yes.
All right, well, this class was posted on August 6th, and it was, like you said, a pop upper body strength. The reason that it was confirmed is Melissa said it was the hardest upper body workout she's ever taken on Peloton. You need all the weights for drop sets. She had the 30s out. Okay, so Stephanie said she loved this class, saying, I can attest I was sore for 3 days afterwards. I think it's the drop set nature that makes this an unstackable, because the whole point of drop sets are going till failure.
Right.
I have to say a little plug for tonal, though.
Yeah.
You don't need all the weights when you have tonal, because it just turns it down for you, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that it does come in handy. That
It
it's
does.
just like,
Just because I don't want to get all the weights out. I'm
Right.
lazy. That's what it boils down
it just
to.
at one point goes, oh, you seem like you're getting weak.
Yeah.
And then it just kicks it down a notch.
Yeah. I had those yesterday on mini sumo squats.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought I was still doing good. And it was like, no, you're not. We're going to reduce the weights.
Okay. I don't even know if I should say this out loud.
Oh, God.
The mini sumo squats. I can't do drop sets. It never drops.
Fuck off.
And because we now have a tonal 2,
You've maxed it out, too.
I'm at 125, and
Wow.
it never drops. And I'm just like, I'm just bored now. I'm at like 25 of these things.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, I'm done. That's
yeah.
enough.
All right, well.
I know. You'd think I'd have nicer legs.
Well, it's really your butt. I think your butt's
Oh,
just
you
fine.
think I would have a nicer butt?
I think your
assume.
butt's just fine. That's what I'm saying.
So, taking a look at this week at Peloton, we have HIT tread boot camps with Andy and Katie.
Yeah, this is new. Katie's first HIT boot camp, and it was a 2-for-1. So
Yeah.
they joined forces, and that's pretty fun. That took place on September 9th. And then there's also, I believe they kind of skipped, they switched, and then Andy went to one of the row classes. I think I heard that somewhere too.
Okay.
So that's fun. They're continuing to do that with changing up the instructors and the different modalities.
For sure. We have a progressive push with Hannah Frankson.
We do. Yeah, that's a 45-minute, and it dropped on September 10th on demand.
And a long flow with Mariana Fernandez.
60 minutes intermediate yoga flow. That dropped on September 8th. It was live, and this is an amazing opportunity to get a really nice long flow with Mariana.
If you don't feel like you're ready for Tunde's hardest core class of all time, we have a 10-minute core with Olivia Amato, which I'm sure is challenging.
Olivia is brutal with core.
Yeah.
But yeah, Friday, September 12th, it's going to drop on demand. It's going to be a 10-minute core that you're going to be able to get.
And taking a look at the TCO radar classes that we think you should be paying attention to.
One of the things that I feel like people need to know about this are the Wake Up with Dennis. They're going to be early morning rides with Dennis. He has famously been a night owl. So seeing him on the early morning schedule we used to have that back at the 6 a.m. crew all the time. And now he's going to be back on the early morning schedules. For those of you who enjoy the early morning classes, that'll be fun.
We also have new family classes coming out.
We do, yeah. A ton of them dropped on September 10th. And that's the article that we talked about earlier that Elizabeth also goes through all the babies. So there's going to be several new family fit classes that dropped this week, a new collection. And you'll also, I think it was like 6 different classes. So
Robin has another day 1 class, so day 1A.
It's more like D, but she does these several times a year. It's nice because it's a way to like reset your focus.
Yeah.
So you're starting over again, and this one is going to start on September 12th.
And then Adrian Williams and DJ John Michael have something fun in store for you.
They do. I love their DJ runs together. They're having one on 9/12 at 5:30 p.m. It's a great way to wrap up the week.
And then coming up, we have Matt's Dry Try.
Okay, this is going to be so fun. On September 13th, you're going to have back-to-back 30 minutes each, row, run, ride, starting at 8 a.m. 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, and you're going to be able to do all 3 of the modalities back-to-back. And when you do all 3 classes, you get a special badge.
Oh, is it a gemstone?
No,
Okay.
it's not.
And then Ash's final Love Letters class is coming up on the 14th.
That's right.
Chelsea Jackson Roberts and Alex Toussaint are teaming up for Club Bangers Yoga.
They are. I have to say, out of all of the partnerships music-wise,
Yeah.
this is not the one I would have seen coming. I would not have had this on my bingo card.
Yes.
Club Bangers just doesn't sound yoga-esque.
Does not scream yoga to me.
It does not. However, it makes me super intrigued.
Yeah.
And I love me some Chelsea Jackson Roberts yoga. So I'm really curious to hear how this goes.
And if you want yoga of a different variety, Yoga and Plus Pilates is getting a new series.
It is, yes. So this is going to be focused on the deep core, and there's going to be 4 different classes that are dropping that Anna is going to be leading. And these classes have been notoriously difficult, and I think focusing on the deep core is going to make it even more so.
Peloton birthdays.
And finally, we got one birthday this week on September 18th. It's Anna Greenberg.
Happy birthday, Anna.
Happy birthday. So I guess that brings this episode to a close. Until next week, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky, and the Peloton leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal. I need to go back to bed.
And you can find me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/The Clip Out. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our Patreon, $5 a month, all sorts of bonus content, ad-free episodes, and early episodes, and we like doing it. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep pedaling
And running.
and rowing.
Bye.
Clip in.